Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the Championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. And unfortunately, you've joined me at a moment where Ipswich have just been given a penalty at Deepdale. No, not at Deepdale, at Portman Road. I don't know if it's been missed, though. Let's hope it has, because I'm not seeing anything on my screen. Oh! Has it been missed? I don't know. Hlidaki's been given a yellow card. I'm not sure what for. But yeah, let's wait and see on that. Listen, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. It is your Leeds versus Stoke post-match reaction. Let me stop this camera moving around like a madman. Let's leave it there for a bit. Look, Leeds United did what they had to do today. I don't think they were great in the second half, but ultimately we won the game of football. The 10 men helps us. Ben Pearson's just a hatchet job, a bit like Jonathan Hogg. It is what it is. Dan James was great tonight. Welcome back into the side. Connor Roberts, great tonight, as was Sam Byram. I thought all the changes that Farker made absolute sense, and they all worked. I'm just waiting to see if this goal's going to go in by Ali Al-Hamadi. He's fucking missed it. He's missed it! He's missed it! Get in! Bristol City, please hold on there, and Leeds United will finish the evening in seconds. Buzzing. But listen, it's back to our game, though. Goal was by Dan James, as you know. He's missed it! Oh, what a save! Get in! Sorry, I'll start talking about the game now, but they'll probably still score. Yeah, listen, let's talk about that man as well, by the way. He was my man of the match tonight. Ilya Melia, I thought was great. He made a number of key saves. Ipswich have missed a penalty. Tonight could be a good night. We could be back in second, and them Ipswich supporting Leeds fans can be quiet for another week until we lose another game, but we move. Look, Dan James, great tonight, scores a great goal. I don't think we're amazing tonight, but sometimes, you know, it's a good sign if you're getting through games of football without being amazing and winning them. We had a couple of chances, but Dan James, great performance again. I thought on the subs, I got annoyed at Pirro, but he did well. Yeah, Pirro did well, but big hat tip to Mateo Joseph. I thought Mateo Joseph was exceptional. Almost could have scored if it weren't for the defender on the line. But yeah, happy days. We won, and that was the main thing after a 2 points dropped against Huddersfield. And we now move on to Sheff Wednesday, and we've got to carry that form. They're beating Plymouth, I think, right now, or have beaten Plymouth. So for them now, they're literally on 38 points. So win the next one, and they're out of the relegation zone. So it's such a big game for them on Friday. So we need to be up for that. A lot of chatting there about Cree needing a rest. Yeah. I think there's something in that. I thought defensively he wasn't great tonight either. Just my opinion when watching the game. I thought that he let us down at that side of the game as well. So, but listen, let's see what everyone else's thoughts are. We've got Andrea, we've got Jer joining us now. Some more will be on the way. Oh, what's that? I've just heard a goal going. Ipswich have fucking scored on the 89th minute. 89th minute. Ipswich have scored. Like, what is going on? Why? Like, what? Deflected goal again. There you go. What more can you expect? Oh, God, man. Was it Leif Davis? There you go. Sean Healy says, Melier, man of the match, played well tonight, and Joseph was brilliant when he came on. Couldn't say fairer than that. There you go. Jammy Feckers again. Anyway, let's bring in Andrea. Let's bring in Jer. Don't let that annoy you, folks. Andrea, we won a game of football. Drug test Ipswich, someone says. Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it? Oh, I can't believe it. They've scored again. Andrea, talk to me about tonight's game.
Yeah, I think the only thing that matters, I agree with you on the performance. It was, of course, our best performance, especially in the second half. If you look before the subs that Farke made, I think they deserved to get an equalizer. Then we had 3 big chances with Joseph and one with James, in the end. Melier, I agree, man of the match for me. It was a similar performance to Huddersfield for me in certain traits. I think the thing that was missing in our game, in our performance was, of course, the midfield again. So many times we won we won games, we got points through the midfielders, through the midfield duo with Kamara and Gruev. I think today, after Huddersfield, they struggle again to give us verticality to get involved. We rely too much on long balls on the wings too. Played a lot of balls to Somerville and James, the long ball for before the substitution. I think Parker made the perfect substitution at the right time too. Before the substitution, our only game plan was trying to give the long ball to Bamford or give the long ball on the wingers to get the 1v1 of James and Somerville. I totally agree with Parker, honestly, when he made the change and put Joseph and Pirot in, honestly. I think Pirot did a right today because we needed those specific things from him and he did exactly that. I also like the fact that Joseph gave us depth because Bamford and also there's a race starting. What was this? What's going on?
Yeah, sorry, I'm taking a photo for the thumbnail, and it makes a sound that and I forgot to mute it. Sorry about that.
It sounded like we part, back in the day when you had to play the races. No, sorry, but by the way, I think Pirot did the thing that we needed for him because I think Rotor and Bamford today, again, after Huddersfield, unfortunately, of course, Bamford scored Huddersfield, but they struggled to play and give us what they usually give to us. So, yeah, the only thing that matters, of course, are the 3 points because they are, looking at our whole performance, they are massive because they keep us in line with the other teams, with Ipswich, with Saints. Saints, of course, play tomorrow. Leicester won at Sunderland. It's a four horse race, like I said at halftime. But throughout the whole game, especially in the second half, I had this sense, probably because of Ben Pearce. This game reminded me so much of the game at home versus Preston in the second season of Bielsa. When we equalized through that deflected goal of Dallas. Because on another day, probably the game ends 1-1, but it didn't, and that's all that matters. We are back to the 3 points, and we're still in line with the other teams. It's not over, and we will go down to the wire till the last day of the season with those 4 teams for me now. The Ipswich keep winning, so yeah, that's pretty much it. For us races, for us this race. Sorry.
You're on mute.
Sorry, folks, I'm hardly with it, man. I'm still a bit under the weather. My apologies. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to go to the wire now. Stoke look like they're going to win this game 3. Not Stoke, fucking hell, Ipswich. But anyway, the most important thing for us tonight was to get back on the horse, and we didn't even lose, did we? We dropped points. We're still unbeaten. What's that? 11 wins out of 12 now or something in the league. It's insane form that we're on, and it was all about the 3 points over the performance tonight, I think.
I'm trying to tell myself that, Joe. I am. But I'm not happy about tonight's performance at all.
Okay.
At all. I disagree with Andrea on one thing. I don't think it was similar to Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield had a game plan, and that's what caused our problems. They had a low block that they did very well. They got on our faces consistently. They pressed us. We made all our own problems tonight. They did nothing outside of us giving them the ball. We gave it away and gave it away and gave it away. As good as our midfield 2 were in the first half, Glenn Kamara went out of the game completely in the second half, to the point where Archie Gray should have been brought on at half an hour left in the game. It was screaming for the midfield to be sorted because both and Gruev as well was dropping deeper and deeper. They went out of the game completely. I thought from an entire performance outside of spells in the first half, first 10 minutes, we were very good. Second 10 minutes, the second half, we got sloppy. We start wasteful passing, overcarrying the ball again. And then we took control of it and we were the better side till half time. You wanted to see Leeds come out and start the second half and really, really have a go at them. And we came out and we parked the bus. And I said this, I don't know how many times this year. When we slow the tempo down and we do this, we take the foot off the gas, we cause problems for ourselves. And I thought we gave the ball away. Jorginho Rutter, I don't know if people are trying to, I've started to figure him out a little bit, but he's going to take 7 or 8 touches when he gets the ball, crowd him. And in the last 2 games, I have not seen a player that we've had this season lose the ball as many times as he lost the ball. And the problem with it is when you're 1-0 up, You're trying to get a second. You're trying to get the momentum back in your way. When you keep losing the ball and giving it back, you break that. Every single time we get the ball, we get a chance to break. Rudder loses it. They break. And you're back under pressure, And you look at the likes of Dan James and Conor Roberts, who looked absolutely shattered by the end of the game. Every time we win the ball, they bomb forward. Then Rudder loses it, and they've got to bomb back again. So they're doing this sprinting up and down for no reason at all. And it really did cause their own problems tonight. I thought when Joel Pirot came on, credit where it's due, I thought he was excellent when Joel Pirot came on the park. Because he did the simple things really, really well when we needed the simple things done. He came short for the ball. He put his foot on it. He took the sting out of it, passed it 5 yards, and went again. You know, you compare that to Georgie. Every time the ball went into his feet, he turned, tried to do a pirouette, step over, lost possession, and they broke. Pirot comes on, the ball goes into his feet. It sticks. It sticks with him. The pressure's taken off. Mateo Joseph, excellent when he came on as well. The subs were excellent. Arguably could have come on a bit sooner because I think Leeds needed an injection of pace around 55 minutes. I really thought there was nothing happening. But look, we got over the line. It's 3 points, but I would be more disappointed in tonight's performance than I would have been against Huddersfield, because for me, Huddersfield had a game plan. Tonight, I thought we gave Stoke the ball far too many times, and then we showed Stoke far too much respect and backed off them and let them have shots. Illan Melli had a cracking game tonight and deserves a lot of respect tonight for the amount of saves he had to make tonight, not just the quality of the saves as well. But then again, the same thing when we get chances, wasteful when we get.
Do you not think we need to give props to their keeper as well, though, Joe?
Oh, 100%. He made 4 or 5 great saves, but at the same time, you're looking at our strike force and the level that we have going forward. You've got to finish your chances. You've got to finish it off, you know. And look, it's 3 points, and as you said, it gets us back winning again. I'm probably sounding a bit negative, but I'm trying to come back down after watching that, and it stoked the life out of me watching that game of football, because I thought we were really poor.
Oh, so sloppy, mate. So sloppy.
Yeah, talk to us,
especially. I mean, first of all, it's flipping problems, man. I don't know what's going on with my Sky, but it was about 2 minutes behind, and I was having 2-3 minutes behind. I was having heart attacks. I had people in the chat telling me that Leeds are conceded, messed it up, and by the way the game is going, I can't believe we allowed Stoke that many opportunities. The past couple of minutes were so rough from Leeds, and I don't know why we again put ourselves in that position of not taking our chances. I thought in the first half, you know, especially the last 15-20 minutes, we had opportunities to, you know, not kill the game off, but at least put us 2 or 3 ahead. We had a lot of ball around that area, and I thought the second half, if I'm being honest, was very sloppy, very, very wasteful. I think, as you said, the last, maybe I'd say from the patch of 70 to about 85th minute, I thought, you know, this is a bit better from Leeds. We've picked the pace up a little bit. We're creating something. But aside from that, the end to the game I thought was poor from Leeds. I thought the first part of the second half was very sloppy. But I put it down personally. I'm going to look at the positive spin, and I'm going to say, listen, we're tired. We're heavy-legged. A lot of those players are the same players that have played all these games. As long as we can get the job done today and we can get the job done on Friday, that's all that matters for me. As long as we can get those 2 things done and we can build forward, then we can maybe start to rest. Maybe we can start to rotate teams, and you know, things can become easier for us. Our vision can become clearer. So that's the way I'm choosing to look at it. I can understand if people are looking at it as typical Leeds once again, not putting away a side that are there for the taking. I can understand why people would say that, and I can even empathize with that thought point, because listen, we shouldn't be allowing Stoke anywhere near us. We shouldn't be allowing Stoke to fear us dropping 3 points. It's getting tight, man. Leicester, as you said, picking up a win today. I haven't actually seen the end of the Ipswich Bristol City game. Last I saw, it was 2-2.
3-2 Ipswich.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah, 3-2.
Oh,
Well,
Leif Davis as well. Leif Davis as well.
Leif Davis has 2 assists and a goal. He's making up for his OGs.
Well, there you go. Exactly, mate. Even more important that we put these average sides to the sword, and I can understand that thought point, but I just think the sides are we're so heavy-legged and so tired right now. We just need to get through these next 2 games. That's the positive spin. But having said that, I agree with you. It was a bit of a chore to watch some of that game at times.
I'm not saying typical Leeds anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this was a
performance. Oh no, I was
that
saying that. Sorry,
we need to be. That's okay, mate. It's just we need to be better against these teams. And the thing I keep saying is, if you look at the turn of the year and how Leeds have played, they've moved the ball quickly. They've minimized touches. They've kept the ball moving. They haven't slowed the game down. The last 2 games, it's been slow. It's been methodical. It's not been good. And Joe, you could probably clip this up at this stage. I don't know how many times I've said this year when we play slow, we're not a good side. But when we play quick, we're excellent. Phenomenal. Our strengths are in our pace. And tonight, we went back to stuff we did at the start of the season. We really do make hard work of the teams down the bottom end of the table.
Am I wrong if I say that I don't recall a 1-2 or a running behind from the central part of the, from the final third to one of the wingers throughout the whole game?
Times, but that's
Just
I think-
2 times, I think, yeah. Very few.
I do think there is an element, and I have to sort of tend to agree with JT a little bit, that they've played a hell of a lot of football.
They have, but so
And
has
I
everybody
think-
else.
Exactly.
This past week, though, has been insane
Yeah, I
for
know.
Leeds.
Yeah.
They've got a game on fecking Friday.
Mm.
I then think we then don't play till next Sunday. We then
that
don't
break.
play till Millwall. We need that break. And I think the important thing is to get through Friday. That's why I'm not too bothered about the performance tonight. We won the game, and it was all about winning the game. Jamie, you're saying you should have rotated more. You said earlier you'd made a good lineup. Now we're saying it's all
I
good.
wouldn't have.
No,
I wouldn't have.
no.
I mean, before the game, the changes that were made were the changes I thought he would have made. I thought he could have probably put Archie in the midfield.
in
I do think
midfield.
McNamara starting to
But
feel
I
the pace
think-
of the
I think
games.
Archie plays in midfield on Friday. I think that's
Yeah, I
what
think so.
Yeah.
he'll
Needs
he'll-
to,
I think
absolutely.
that's why he left the changes as late as he did, kind of just
Yeah.
trying to keep as many fresh legs as you can for Friday night so you can start those players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to give them a few minutes to play just so that they're still a little
And
bit
over.
warm to Friday. And I think I understand why Archie was dropped, especially looking back on hindsight, because
I don't think he
if
was
there's-
dropped. Rested.
No, dropped. Yeah, when I say dropped, I mean
Yeah,
rested.
rested.
Okay.
As in
sorry.
because wrong choice of words. Because he's 17, he's so young, his body isn't quite matured and developed as a man as you would in your early 20s or whatever. So I think if anyone's more likely to pick up an injury through tiredness, I think it is going to be Archie Gray. So that's why I completely understand why he was rested for Friday. And I think you're right. I think he dropped straight into the midfield on Friday.
What do we do about Somerville, lads? Because I think Somerville's carrying a knock.
I think
He's
he's
not-
carrying a couple of knocks. I think he's starting to show. I mean,
and-
Farke said it against Chelsea. He had a couple of ankle issues. He's definitely slowed down. Now, I don't mean in his sprinting pace, but I mean as in his when he gets it, that little snap of electricity that he has when he used to get the ball onto his feet and he'd knock it out with his feet real quick and just tear people. Now he's kind of trying to hold on to it and kind of keep it close and build up. And he's waiting for someone to commit themselves before he puts the burners on. But I do think he's carrying knocks. Yeah, but he's been so good for us this season. I find it very hard to criticize him and Jorginho Rutter. When I do say something
Yeah,
negative about him,
Yeah, no, of
I
course,
feel
yeah.
bad because they've been so good this year and we've relied so heavily on them. But sometimes they just, again, same thing as we saw against Huddersfield. Sometimes go the other side of the park. Sometimes
Yeah.
not everything has to go through him. We
Do you
were
not
getting a
think
lot
they
of
went
joy.
down
Yeah,
the right a
exactly,
lot
exactly.
today, though?
We
They
did,
did
and we
go.
had to. But the first half, there was a lot. There was chance where you'd see Dan James again in miles of space, and it would come back in across, back to the left to Cree again. I think sometimes we're maybe programmed to go give it to Cree, let him get going. I think we could do taking a bit of pressure off him as well. He's had a tough bloody season. So is George.
He is, but I think I saw people saying potentially drop him for Friday. For me, I think he's got too much quality to take him out. I think what you do, you wait until he has that week to rest and recover, and then you can see what the problem is. For me, I think a bit of it is down to confidence, if I'm being honest, because you see a lot of the times he's holding on to the ball he's holding on to the ball for too long and he's not releasing it quick enough. I wouldn't say he's unconfident, but I think, especially because things haven't been going well for him the past few weeks. He's not quite in that flow state. And it's kind of like Wilfred Gnonto when he was first getting involved and he's almost trying too hard to create something. So he's taking the extra touch and he's trying to make sure his pass is pitch perfect or his shot is perfect, and he's not quite. There's something to be said for having flow state where you just everything is instinctual, it's off the cuff, he's moving quickly, flicking off the 1-2s with the Rutter and doing something. So I think he just needs not even just a goal, he just needs another Somerville wonder goal, top bins, long shot or something, just to get the confidence right, just to get him feeling like, you know what, I can afford to miss a couple of shots, I don't have to overthink things again. And I think that's the main problem I've seen from Somerville. But as I said, I definitely too much quality to drop him.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think George is in the same position. I think they're overthinking it at times.
Yeah.
They are overthinking it. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, they do. I just think we need to get this game on Friday out of the way, and then like I say, a nice long week. You know what I mean? A nice 8 days between games. When you consider we will have played 4 in 10. They're gonna get 8 days of relax, I guess. Not relax, but you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Is there anything else, like, lads, you wanna discuss on tonight's game? Do you know what? Actually, here's one for you. I think Gruyev's dropped the last few games as well. I don't think he's as good, and maybe that's not playing as much as he
was injured as well, though, wasn't he?
Different games too, different game plans from the opposition, I think.
Yeah.
Also,
he was touch and go for Huddersfield, though, wasn't he, Andrea?
Sorry,
I believe he was touch and go for the Huddersfield game. He hadn't trained all week, and then he played against Huddersfield, and now he's barely trained again and played again. Like, so, are you playing lads that are injured here just to try and get through?
Yeah, that's another issue too. What we were talking about, also the fitness issue. You know, sometimes for certain players, because they had little knocks, you know, to carry on. But yeah, I think you know, at that time, I don't know if you've listened. I said to Joe that I think that in certain games we still need Ampadu in midfield, because of course Griff is perfect when it comes to passing, but it does not offer against those kind of oppositions, because they were with their 3-line in front of our defense. They were blocking the verticality, and we've seen that against Huddersfield. Even when we had Grujev playing, the one carrying the ball from us when they were down to 10 men was Ampadu from that back 3. So sometimes Ampadu really brings the progression to that midfield. If we don't have Gray in midfield, it's either Gray or Ampadu bringing the progression now in midfield. And Kamara, is struggling in the last couple of games, honestly, to do that. And Grujev, of course, is not a progressive player. He can get forward, but it's more like a cohesion, you know, a bridge player, you know, a bridge player in a certain way, you know. So against those kind of opposition, I think it's also down to understanding the game better, probably, but it's also down to the skills of the players. And we know that he's a playmaker. He's a bouncer sometimes when it comes to the defensive side of the game, but also a link-up player. And today we needed in midfield, and I agree on the fact that Gray should have played earlier for me, because we're absolutely missing a player carrying the ball, giving us progression, getting past, getting through their bodies in the middle, because they were clearly trying to send us on the wings. And they were not doing that, Gurria and Kamara, today. And I think they struggled to do that too at Huddersfield, because the one carrying the ball for us, for Ampadu, one of the two centre-backs now. So, yeah, I agree on that with Gurria. And on the fixture, on the schedule, you know, I agree on the importance of Friday, because after that we have 8 days, and I think you can rest the players. You can also, you know, really try to reason on the recent period of time, especially because we played too many games. But also on the schedule, let's not forget that Southampton have to play Leicester and Ipswich. So that's why these 3 points tonight, despite the struggling performance, and I totally agree with that, are important, because if we keep in line, we keep the pace with those teams. At one point, they have to face each other. 100%. They have to face Ipswich and Southampton, and Southampton and Leicester. They have to face each other. So that's our chance, you know. And they will face teams like Stoke and and Huddersfield. And just said one right thing, I think, too. You know, I don't like when we play slow, because if you look against this kind of opposition, because there's two kind of games, you know, Huddersfield and Stoke. Compare these two to, for example, Swansea and Birmingham. You know, they are similar teams to Stoke and Huddersfield, but we play in a totally different way. And look how we run riot, you know, against those two teams. You know, very similar to Huddersfield and Stoke.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Colin Kerwin, big up to you, always supporting the channel. He says, evening, wife had another baby boy during the Leicester and Leeds game. Congrats, mate. He said, had him on my lap tonight for good luck. We have this, doing everything right. Thanks for the watch along again. Andrea for President, Jer for...
yeah, pronounce that.
Yeah, Taoiseach.
Taoiseach. Was it?
Taoiseach.
What's that mean?
Taoiseach, yeah, what does that mean?
It means Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Okay.
Taoiseach.
In Irish,
our Prime Minister is called
Gaelic?
Taoiseach. Yeah. Gaelic, yeah.
Gaelic, yeah.
Oh,
There
nice.
you go then. Taoiseach.
Taoiseach.
Congrats on the baby.
Jer for tea bag. That's what. Jer for a tea bag.
for tea bags.
Whoa! This is a meaty show, man.
I work with Americans. I get casual racism on a daily. Don't worry about it. Move on.
Let's talk about Connor Roberts. Actually, He was great tonight, wasn't he? And I really enjoyed his underlapping runs and his crosses as well into the box.
Takes a strike nearly 1 point.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't he? It was good.
There's real good trust between him and Dan James, isn't there? I like
Yep.
the two of them. I like the two of them over there. As soon as he passes the ball to Dan James, gone. He just runs past him, straight heads towards the box straight away. He's going to score more goals for the end of the season. And he was unlucky tonight that we didn't get it. We didn't get on the end of a couple of very decent balls that he put in as well. He's a real lightning rod. Like when you need a bit of energy, we did lack at times tonight, but when we needed a bit of energy, it came down that side, and it came from him getting out his feet. He loves a tackle as well. He doesn't mind leading a bit. And if you look at him, there was a moment towards the back end of the second half. I think Mateo Joseph or Piero had it, and he's on the far side of the pitch doing this, waving at them to give him the ball. Like he wants the ball. Like there's no way they're passing the ball to him out there. There's too many players between them, but he's screaming for it. And he keep picking him up on the microphone, shouting at players to get it back in position. He let Groove had it 4 or 5 times in the second half. He let Groove absolutely have both barrels to get back into position. He's very good. He's been really, really good for us. And again, the benefit of having him there is that it does free up Archie now to be an option for midfield. And I'm happy with that as well. It gives us some really good options, especially coming into Friday night. But yeah, he's very good. He's very, very good. Tidy on the ball.
He's a leader. He's a leader.
Yeah, he is.
Also, I noticed one thing. You know, when Melia did a goal kick, you know, a fast long ball, when we were 1-0 up, he shouted at him, gestured at him, you know, to slow things down. Yeah, I was like that. I was like, you know, slow things down, you know. But also the fact that every game he's played for Leeds so far, he had impact, you know, in a certain way. Of course, he scored against Leicester, but also assisted at a lot of field. But he's a leader, you know. You can see that he's in the same category, of course, not the same nationality too, but in the same category of Rodon and Ampadu, because they give you when they have the ball. And Ampadu is the better one in that category. You know, they give you a sense of calmness, honestly, because they always usually do the right thing in that specific moment. They try to lose the pressure. Then they try to lead their teammates, you know, and I really like that from that. And apart from that, of course, apart the leadership side, he's a really good footballer, you know, because, like I said at halftime, he's very smart in understanding when he has space to get forward, and also understanding when he needs to play inside or play back the ball to Rodon to create and go to the other side, to the other wing, you know. And today, I think we could have gone more times, you know, on his side, probably, especially with the running behind, because I think he's pretty good in doing that. I think we did that just once or twice, you know. But as we were not doing that properly, like we did in other games, you know, when he was playing, he did that himself, you know. When he had the ball, he tried to get the 1v1. He tried to overlap on a few occasions on his own, and I really like that, you know, finding different solutions when there's not the central player giving the ball in behind to him often. Yeah,
and even underlapping, as you said.
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
thing I like as well is how he adapts his game and fits in seamlessly, whether it's Dan James playing out there or Wilfred Gnonto, because you like to see Dan James likes to hug the width more than Gnonto, who likes to cut inside. And he seems to just seamlessly, and I think it comes from the experience of being there and doing it, but he seamlessly seems to fit in, and it doesn't matter who he's playing there with. He can adapt his game on the spin like that, even if a substitution's made. And that's what I've been thoroughly impressed with him. You know, the way that he's come into the team with limited game time and limited opportunity and hit the ground running, as you said, adaptable to different styles of play, different games, whether there's more space against teams. I think you really see him come into his own there. Like you saw at the end of the Leicester game, I thought there was a lot more space for him to have joy in when he needs to be compact defensively. I think he's very good there. And I just have been thoroughly impressed with how adaptable he is mostly. That's my most impressive trait if I was going to give him one.
100%. Joe, we spoke yesterday, you know, about Mateo Joseph, and there was a lot of like unhappy fans that he wasn't used against Huddersfield, and some might say, see, we should have used him, but I would more say that it feels like that Farke's managing it correctly, and we've seen today he comes on and he had a great impact, and if he continues to come on and make impacts like that, he'll leave Farke with only one decision to make, and that'll be for him to start games, because I thought he was great when he came on, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the last two games and I wasn't critical of Pat Bamford. I'm still not critical of Pat Bamford the last two games.
No,
because
definitely not.
Supply just wasn't there for him. However, However, there is a however and a caveat to this. Mateo Joseph comes on for the exact same supply, but manages to get far more involved because he's probably a bit fresher. He's younger. He's got a lot more energy in his legs.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out to me is, outside of the fact that he's got bags of confidence, I mean, the shot that he takes from the left-hand side, cutting inside and trying to whip it into the bottom corner, cracking strike. He's millimeters away from that nesting in the bottom corner. There's a huge amount of confidence that you need to ignore senior players looking for the ball off you and go, no, I'm doing this myself. I'm a really tight angle. That's the first thing with him. The most important things for me were when the ball gets hit into him at any kind of pace, it sticks. It hits him, it drops, he flicks it, he's gone. Like he's not wasteful on the ball. He doesn't overcarry it. He doesn't get caught in possession. He moves it quickly. He gets into space. He's constantly looking to get back involved in the game and get the ball. He shows in really good areas. I said about his goals against Chelsea that they were too mature finishes. But there was a lovely moment where Pirro broke. And most young strikers would head across Pirro to head towards the box. Mateo Joseph drifts out wide. Give him space. Gives Pirro space. Drags the fullback away from Pirro to give Pirro that room to slip a ball through for Cree, who does an underlapping run. And there's an intelligence to that as well. He is very, very close, I think, to giving Daniel Farke a serious headache for a start up front. I don't think he's far off starting a game because the things you say about Pat Bamford, he gives Leeds. He occupies centre backs. He's good at holding the ball up. He can link the play very, very well. All of those things can maybe say Mateo Joseph against Chelsea and now tonight again. And we've seen it this year when he's come off the bench as well. There's a keenness and an eagerness from him as well to go and get involved and try and get on the score sheet. So he's been really, really good. I think we've got a proper little talent on our hands here.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx him too much. We said the same about Joffy, but I think he's got slightly more to his game than Joffy. But I think he's an intelligent footballer who sees the need to be involved to help the team. But also when he has any opportunity in the final third of the park, he knows where the goal is. And he's not afraid to go for it. So yeah.
Especially now with the confidence. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on, mate.
No. I was going to say about Joseph is, I think personally, he's been hard done by at the beginning of the season because obviously there's been a lot of people who've seen his work in the under-21s, whether they've been clamoring for him to play. When he's come on earlier on in the season, it's been when we've thrown about 3-4 strikers onto the pitch and you've got him, Bamford and Perot all on the pitch at the same time. And it's just over congested. He never had enough space. And now that he's had an opportunity as the lone striker with more space around him, you're seeing a completely different animal in in Joseph for me. These past 2 games, it has been a complete resurgence. I was never convinced on him, really. I didn't think this kind of player, he had this kind of ability in his locker, especially this early. But the confidence, even you said that little pop shot that he called wide, the fact that he has the confidence to quickly touch it out of his feet like that, the pace, the quick touch, the movement. What I really want to see from him, though, is him starting a game with Rutter in behind him, with the creativity, the movement they can have with each other, the pace. Because one thing he has, like you said, he has kind of the hold-up play, the physical attributes of Bamford, but he's a little bit quicker for me, starting in a straight-line race. So I'd love to see Leeds' counter-attack with a fully fit Somerville, Rutter and Joseph all linking up together. And I think it could just really unlock that extra dimension of his game. Yeah.
Kieran Burkitt, welcome, mate. Welcome to JUSTJOE FC. Thanks for becoming a member, mate. Massively helps the channel in supporting it and stuff. I was going to respond to your Pacamac, but the moment's gone. I've relaxed. So I'm just going to leave it there. Any final thoughts, Andrea? We'll go around and shouts for man of the match. There's not really much we can pick out of it. The scintillating Leeds United's dropped off, hasn't it, of late? And we're just getting through games, it seems. But any final thoughts, Andrea?
No, I think the man of the match, Melia, absolutely. If it wasn't for him, I think he would have been 1-1, definitely. Tonight, overall, the final thoughts, I think, need to get through Sheffield Wednesday because we should expect a similar game to the one at Huddersfield, honestly. Yeah. Because it will be another hostile atmosphere. They are a different team compared to Huddersfield, of course. They have a different style of football. Of course, behind the scenes, they had a lot of unclarity. Now with this new manager, they have a little bit of new confidence. Danny Roll, But I watched them before the managerial change, and they didn't look great, honestly. But let's not forget that despite all the uncertainty, when they still had Darren Moore, I think, when they played there on the road, they made us struggle a lot. Of course, it was in August, start of September, so we were a different team. But let's remember that that was the first time probably that the low block caused us problems. I think we were really struggling, against Sheffield Wednesday on that day. Remember, it was the day Spence had his debut, honestly. So we don't need to play the same way that we did against Huddersfield and Stoke. We need to gather them. We need to find central spaces. We need Rotor to be involved and be determinant. To be decisive again, because I think there will be spaces, and I really agree with JT. Honestly, I think I would like to see Joseph and Rotor already against Sheffield Wednesday. Honestly, because I think the Joseph movement, if he moves like it tonight, and in terms of movement, of course, I'm not comparing the two players, but in terms of how he moves, he reminds me of a young Cavani. And the way he moves, also the body type. So I would like to see that honestly on Friday.
I can kind of see that. I can kind of see what you're saying there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good shout.
He's moving on that way. And I think against the defense of Sheffield Wednesday, they are very static. Pamea Wall, those kind of players. I think I would like to see Rotor and Joseph, and with that front four. Either Somerville or Gnonto. Honestly, I wouldn't be bothered if we play Gnonto for once, start Gnonto for once, and start with Somerville on the bench. Gnonto, James has to play on the right. Just that's a guaranteed starter for me against Wednesday. It's up for Somerville because of the knock and Gnonto on the left. But with that front four, if we manage to get the progressive balls from midfield to Rotor and from Rotor to the wingers or the through balls for Joseph, I think we will be back to our usual self. It's a learning experience. We get through Huddersfield and Stoke 4 points, didn't lose, still unbeaten in 2024. We're still in contention for
the. Let's not forget we've got another clean sheet tonight.
Exactly,
that can't be understated. Yeah.
So
cannot be understated.
Exactly. No, it doesn't need to be understated, and it's up to the defenders, the whole team, of course, but in particular the defenders and the goalkeeper. Let's not forget that too, because I think the goalkeeper, Melier, is criticized a lot by a certain section of the fan base. But tonight, he saved us. We would have been looking at a different table if it wasn't for him tonight. So let's get to
Sheffield against Huddersfield as well. By the way,
he
was great there as well. Definitely. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I think for me, look, Leicester. I mean, Ipswich or Ipswich, and if at the end of the season we finish third because they've done what they've done, you have to hold your hands up. You won't get an angry Joe from me. I'll just go, as disappointed as I'll be like, right, what can you do? Like, they're on a shoestring budget, they just never give in. I'm not going to get no sour grapes from me, but there's still many twists and turns. There's still a long way to go. Joe, have you got any final thoughts, mate?
I hope we don't let the result paper over the cracks tonight. I hope we work on the areas we need to work on. Central midfield needs to be more dominant, needs to control the game. We can't have players run through the middle of the park.
Would you make changes in there, Joe, for Friday?
Yeah, I think Archie comes in for Glenn for me. I think Kamara's legs are starting to feel it a little bit. Very good first half. Very good first half. And Kamara miles off in the second half. And I think Gruev is also one of the two of them could very easily drop out of the team. Both looked quite leggy in the second half, which caused us most of our problems. I think Georgie could be struggling to hang on to position as well. His last couple of games, he's been a bit wasteful. So either he needs to start using the ball better and more simply. And as to JT's point, not overcomplicating it as much as we have been. Just relax, settle down, keep it simple. Then we'll be fine. 8 shots against us in the last 20 minutes. That can't be a regular occurrence because better teams will find the back of the net. I mean, Melier has had a cracking game tonight, man the match for me. But we can't give up as many chances as we give up there. If you look at the last 20 minutes, the amount of times our back four and our midfielders dropped into our own penalty area and left them have free shots from the edge of the box. That can't be allowed to happen. You've got to press. You've got to get in people's faces. You've got to make it difficult. We were too far off people tonight. I think that has to be fixed. But it can be fixed. It's away from home. Wednesday will do what we've seen. They'll probably just sit in, low block, wait for set pieces. Yeah. So we've got to move the ball quickly and get an early goal and put it to bed.
100%. Yeah.
That'll be easy though.
Yeah. Ilya Gruev confirms definitely that his surname is pronounced Gruev, not Groif, as been suggested. Big news, says Graham Smith.
Groif.
Yeah, that was.
Brent's calling him Groif all night.
Yeah, that's who started it. Bryn Law with his groif. Everyone was like, what? Any final thoughts from you, JT?
As I said, I'm going to choose to take the positive route on this one. I think it is just heavy legs. I think it's just tiredness. And I think we would all be looking at this very differently if Leif Davis hadn't gone and screwed us with his last minute win. I think we've all been sat there like back in second now, job done, very happy. Leicester only just just pushing it over the line against Sunderland 1-0 themselves. But unfortunately, we're in that position now where we have to worry more about other teams as well as ourselves. As I said, I think it's just tired legs. The key thing for me, getting through this and Friday, I don't think there's too many changes. I think I would change. I would put Archie Gray in the midfield. I would keep Connor Roberts on because he's quite fresh. Firpo got a few minutes, so I think he comes back into the side on Friday. And maybe potentially Joseph for Bamford. But what I'd probably be more likely to do is change it at the 45th minute mark, start the game with Bamford, start off strong at 45th minute mark, bring Joseph on with his energy whilst Rutter and Somerville are still on the pitch. That's what I would do. I think it's just heavy legs, but I think going forward, we kept
more
it
like just the 60th minute to the 45th minute, mate.
Oh, more likely. I'm saying what I would do. More likely it's going to be like...
Would you really bring Firpo back in for Byram? I thought Byram was great tonight.
No, I thought we missed too much not having Firpo there. I thought he was too one-footed. You saw it. We lacked natural width with Byram out there. The amount of times he was doing these outside of the foot crosses or trying to cut the ball onto his right foot. He's a great fullback. He was very serviceable for us early parts of the season. But since having Firpo in there and seeing the natural width we get with the left footer, I think that also kind of cramps from Somerville's game a little bit, having Byram out there. I think Byram, for me, is more suited to playing at right back.
Fair,
I disagree with you on that one.
Yeah. But it's a great argument. I think Byram played well. Yeah. It was good, mate. It was good.
I see the points.
And Firpo's world class. I mean, they didn't really see Blackpool. You know what I mean?
Reason. That's the only reason. That's the only
No, but yeah, seriously. No.
Anyway, right. I think we will leave it there. Coming up towards 45th minute. Not much we can talk about. Just another one. It was not a great performance, but we won, and that's the main thing.
3 points. Move on.
Yes, 3 points. Move on. Massive game now in just 3 days' time, really. So, we've got to win that. It's such a huge game. I don't want my weekend ruined because that's what a Friday night game can do. They're in great form. Listen, if Sheff Wednesday get anything, they move out of the drop zone for the first time this season, I think. So they'll be bang up for it. They're against Leeds United. It's one of them, innit? So we've got to be on it. Listen, thanks always for supporting the channel. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to Jer at Leeds United, The View, JT at JT Live, and make sure you check out Andrea on the Twitter sphere as well. Always some great tidbits on there. We won. That's the most important thing. And if you haven't already, folks, and you're stuck for something to watch tonight, make sure you watch The Fall on Netflix. It is absolutely unreal. And I'll leave it with that.
I think it's fallen
folks.
off recently.
Bye-bye, folks.